This is an All Sports Station production.
Today, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Houston Texans. From Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. DeAndre Carter returning it. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go.
Out comes Deshaun Watson, ready to captain the ship here for this Houston offense.
When we talk about the best dual quarterbacks in the NFL, don't leave Deshaun Watson out of the conversation. 2 straight years he's been a Pro Bowler. Excellent numbers again last season with 26 touchdown passes, 7 more added on the ground, and firm leadership and control of his Houston Texans team. Now he's looking forward to taking the next step and beating Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in the playoffs and getting the Houston Texans to a Super Bowl.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Watson a give. This is Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like bats, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. And here comes Ben Roethlisberger out onto the field ready to lead this Steeler offense.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Gets it up past the 10 with a nice move. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And this results in 6. Touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now at 2-0, and despite the 2-0 start, the offense hasn't really shown consistency through 4 quarters of football, getting Big Ben back into the fold, but again, still 2-0. Now, rookie Chase Claypool in Week 2, he caught the longest touchdown pass thrown by into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Second and 7 from the 20. Out of the gun, Watson. His throw incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells, and it's third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. Watson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Black 20.
In your face.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That time a 9-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Carter now on the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A chance here, Charles, to talk about the Houston Texans before this next drive. They were handed no favors when the schedule came out this year. Kansas City and Baltimore the first 2 weeks, maybe the two best teams in football. And the Texans indeed lost in KC in the Thursday opener, then fell 33-16 at home to Baltimore. So is this just, hey, that's a bad start because of who you played, or is there a reason for concern with these Houston Texans?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think you're exactly right. The schedule, brutal to begin with. And look, they go to Pittsburgh this week, then they're home against Minnesota and Jacksonville. So we know what the schedule has in front of them. Not much that's easy. But let's face it, schedule's one thing. The other part is just the retooling of this team. Remember, they traded away DeAndre Hopkins. This is an offense that's still trying to find itself without their go-to receiver. If somehow they can get that figured out and start to gel, I think it's still a team that can make a run in their division, because some of these games are losing early. They might be able to make back against their divisional foes.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
There's a good reception there by Will Fuller. And if you're looking for breakout players in 2020, he's a big-time candidate for it, because he has a rapport with Deshaun Watson. And now with DeAndre Hopkins no longer in Houston, he could be their top receiver.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They toss it out right to Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Watson, he fakes to Johnson and now looks to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Who's that?
19. The first down carry here for Johnson. Down right around the 25. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And out of bounds right around the 20. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Watson on 3rd down. Screen play, Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And there's a good catch by David Johnson, good enough for a 1st down. And remember, come out of the University of Northern Iowa, he had played receiver his first couple of years in college before shifting to running back. Used to seeing the ball in the air, And when he's on his game, he's an excellent pass receiver.
Watson from the gun, he'll throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. $10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Watson on third and goal. And off the deflection, it's caught. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
A good carry and a first down by James Conner, and this Pittsburgh team is really hoping he's back in form because last year the entire Pittsburgh offense suffered without Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. James Conner only 715 combined yards, but in 2018, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Combined yardage that year, 1,470. They're hoping for 2018 James Conner in 2020.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
41 Mike,
Here's Conner. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. But here's David Johnson in the Houston offense yet again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe.
Well, CD, unfortunately some somber news across the league in Week 2 coming from New England Patriots running back James White because his parents were in a car crash and his father Tyrone, captain of the Miami-Dade Police Department, passed away in that accident, and his mother Lisa also sustained critical injuries. So it was obviously a tough one. James White did not play in the game on Sunday, but we did see the outpouring of support from around the National Football League and how this really is one big family.
Yeah, he was really embraced, as you mentioned, by the National Football League. We saw social posts from plenty of players around the league, including Tom Brady, former teammate of his with the New England Patriots. We saw an outpouring in terms of, other guys around the league. J.J. Watt, who played with him in college at Wisconsin. And not only that, how about his own teammates? Devin McCourty scored a touchdown against Seattle and ran up and told the camera, "Hey, 2-8, we're thinking about you. We love you." And the rest of the guys chimed in from there. And the Patriots organization offered to fly him home on the private jet. He stayed with his team, stayed in their embrace, and now he has to go and face the difficult task of saying goodbye to his dad and tending to his mom. But he's got plenty of support from around the league, from the Patriots, and, of course, his own family.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Hey, CD, let's peer ahead to Week 3 on the NFL slate. I'm looking down at the schedule here, seeing what catches my eye. How about the Rams at Buffalo? That's a pretty good game. A couple of 2-0 teams. Dallas at Seattle. What else do you have?
Well, how about Green Bay at New Orleans on Sunday night? We always talk about quarterback matchups that we'd love to see more of. You don't get to see very often Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, and this could be the last time if Drew Brees indeed heads towards retirement after this season. And how about the one that's going to cap off the weekend? Kansas City at Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how big is that one, right? Because there are a number of us who think that this is a preview of the AFC Championship game. But I want to go back to one you mentioned, the Rams and Buffalo. Two quarterbacks that continue to have to prove their greatness, or even that they should have the job. Jared Goff with the Rams, and of course, Josh Allen with Buffalo. Both of them off to really hot starts and looking good.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, it's Watson. Incomplete. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Hey, we don't need no more penalties right here.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
They try the left side with Johnson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Watson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
The Texans on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Watson, he'll bite, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
Sacked there by Cameron Hayward, an all-pro in the 2019 season. He's been consistently good throughout his career. 29 sacks in his last 3 seasons.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Coming to you.
On the handoff, it's Samuels. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for Houston. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Roethlisberger. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Carter. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Houston set to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Catch there by Brandon Cooks, and it's hard to believe that he's on his 4th team in 5 years because he's produced everywhere that he's been. Houston hoping to see the Brandon Cooks that they saw in New Orleans, in New England, and in Los Angeles. 2019, though, was his first year under 1,000 yards since 2014. He's looking for a bounce back.
They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man, the tight end falls. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed.
And now look at him go. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 85 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. Fells has it, left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a strong first half from quarterback Deshaun Watson. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Good catch by Deontay Johnson, and he really helped fill a void during his rookie season when he had 59 catches that led the team, and he was first among all rookie receivers last season as well. Not bad for the 10th wide receiver selected in the 2019 draft. Really good play. Expects to continue to get better in this Pittsburgh offense.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On first down, it's Samuels. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 44, Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Connor. Fights loose, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
Here's Connor. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll hand it off now to Samuels. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 21. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. It's first and goal.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it was Jalen Samuels who closed it out with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Here's Carter now on the return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at their own 27.
He'll throw from the gun.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Slide, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
So the opening drive of this third quarter, they're trying to set the tone for the second half.
And without a doubt, they did exactly that. I've known coaches who have said the first 5 minutes of each half are so important to do exactly what you said, which is set the tone. I've also heard coaches talk about the first 5 plays. Let's go out and be aggressive right off the top. That's exactly what they did.
Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans.
Out of the gun, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. Came out, spring in his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taking off and running really well in the third quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come, but some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage of it in this one, though.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
On first down, Samuels, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And there's a catch by Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's hoping there's plenty more of that coming. 2019, not the year he expected. Lost his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, early, dealt with a knee injury and missed 4 games, and his stats really fell. Just 552 yards through the air. But in 2018, what a big year he had then with Big Ben. 1,426 yards. He's hoping that the return of form of Roethlisberger leads to the return of form of himself.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On the carry, it's Samuels. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. On the return, Carter. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The big man, Tyson Alualu, there to make the tackle.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Again, it's Johnson, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Aaron Donald's the name most people think about at the defensive tackle position, but an all-pro last year alongside him, Cameron Hayward, an absolute nightmare to try and block, and he gets into the backfield on that play and finishes it off with a loss.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. He may try and run for this. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Good carry and pickup for a first down there by David Johnson, and he has a chance to fill a lot of voids for this Houston Texans team. They lost their 1,000-yard rusher from last year. Carlos Hyde went to Seattle, but back in 2016, David Johnson led the NFL in all-purpose yards with the Arizona Cardinals. The Texans will be happy to see that guy all year long.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for only a couple.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson, he's got Fuller. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Watson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
On first down, it's Watson fighting him off. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, and that's complete to Cooks. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks, 32 yards, and the Texans have retaken the lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Good catch there by Eric Ebron, and the Steelers are hoping that they see the 2018 version of this young man. 66 catch, 750 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And that was good enough for 2nd in the league with the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers like to throw to the tight end. They hope Ebron is the guy.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Samuels. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's taken to the 26. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36.
From the gun, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
First down Texans. Watson hooking up with Cooks.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. They go to Johnson again. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically. But it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Running from the gun, Johnson fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
There's a familiar sight. T.J. Watt with a sack. And remember last year, he was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, and he earned it because he's been the top 10 in the league in sacks for 2 straight seasons. Really, really difficult to block coming off the edge.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. Fighting through. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Second and short now following the fumble. This is Samuels. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. That's David DeCastro, the former Stanford Cardinal, with a penalty. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Here's Samuels again. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A couple of 1st downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run with Samuels, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
The Steelers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Washington's got it. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They got the completion. Now, they probably had 2 plays called in the huddle, so they've got to get to the line of scrimmage, get set, and run their 4th down play.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down in the fourth quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out first downs.
Roethlisberger going to get this one to Connor. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Still time to go for the win, but they've got to get up and spike it quickly. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's second and a yard. He'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Roethlisberger to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime,
If the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Carter now on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. First throw in OT for Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson, and that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Brian Anger now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Now the Steelers' offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
To Connor on the check down. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Johnson on the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They toss it out right to Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Open man, the tight end fells. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Watson a give. This is Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 15. 36 yards on the play.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And it's now 3-0 Texans. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal's from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.